everybody, and welcome to Nick's Stream. Today we're going to be checking out my game pickups leading into October 2021. Let's check it out. Hello everybody, welcome back. If you haven't already, hit that subscribe button down below. Hey, and I just want to announce, this is the first video I've decided to shoot in 4K, so let's see how it comes out, we'll see how it looks. So, let's get into these pickups. Okay, so this month, we're going to be talking about a lot of limited run games that actually came in. I have a ton of orders in with them, and they finally shipped something. I got 2 shipments at once. And it was annoying because limited run games with them, I tried to group my shipments because their shipping costs are so ridiculously high that if I can group them, you save a lot of money, right? And the issue I had with this is 2 separate shipments were sent out at the exact same day. And I could have had those combined, but they shipped them all as 2 separate shipments on the same day, which I thought was kind of annoying. So enough complaining about limited run games, let's jump in with the first game that I got from them, and that is Scott Pilgrim vs. the World. You've seen me do a Let's Play on my channel of this already. This game is seen as being the poster boy of why physical media is important, because this is one of those games that was put on the shops, the Xbox Live Arcade, and digitally, and it got taken down and removed, and then nobody could get the game anymore. And it just went to show how physical media was so important. Then Limited Run Games got the rights back through Ubisoft, and they made this physical copy. This happens a lot with licensed games, licensed tie-in games, because I know there was a remake of Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 4, Turtles in Time on the Xbox Live Arcade as well, that you cannot get anymore. Same with, they did a full redrawn version of Earthworm Jim called Earthworm Jim HD, which you cannot get anymore either. Those are all games that are lost to time, and there's no real way of playing them as far as I know. You can get ROMs of them, but they don't run well with the one Xbox Live Arcade emulator. That's the only other way you can play those games. Well, anyways, this game is a side-scroller beat-em-up done in pixel art style based on the movie Scott Pilgrim vs. the World with Michael Cera. It's a great game. It's a fun beat-em-up. You can check out my Let's Play on my channel. It's also a difficult beat-em-up, but it's definitely worth checking out. Next up, the next thing I got from Limited Run Games was Bloodstained Curse of the Moon 2. Now, Bloodstained Curse of the Moon 2 is a sequel to, obviously, to Bloodstained Curse of the Moon. And what Bloodstained Curse of the Moon started out as was a Kickstarter bonus of reaching a goal for creating Bloodstained Ritual of the Night. Now, Bloodstained, in my opinion, Curse of the Moon ended up being better than Ritual of the Night because it was done more of an NES style, Castlevania style game, and it's one of the few pixel art games that actually feels like you're playing an NES game. The way they did the color palettes and everything, it actually felt like you were playing an NES game, and that's why I really like the first one. I haven't tried this one yet, but I'm excited to play this one as well.
Bloodstained Curse of the Moon 2.
Next up is a remaster of a Sega CD 32X, and Sega Saturn game, and that is Corpse Killer 25th Anniversary Edition. I pre-ordered this almost a year ago. I finally got it in the mail this month, and this game is as hilarious and terrible as you could possibly imagine. It's a FMV light gun game, which doesn't use a light gun on the old system. I don't think it used the light gun. It should. But they were too lazy to put the gyro controls in this one. So you're just using your analog stick to move the cursor around, which to me is just absolute laziness. If you're going to put the work into making something like this, add gyro controls to the Joy-Cons so you can move it around like you're aiming a gun. It's still hilarious to play this game. Pop it in, see how silly it looks, and enjoy it.
Welcome wagon. Light 'em up.
The next Limited Run game I got is The Mummy Demastered. This was shipped out by Limited Run Games a long time ago, but I had it ordered with Corpse Killer, so it didn't come until this month. Now, this game, what it is, it's a side-scroller Metroidvania based on the Tom Cruise Mummy remake movie, which is supposed to be terrible. I've never seen it, but I hear it's horrible. And but this game is actually supposed to be pretty good. It's made by WayForward, which is the makers of the Shantae games. So there's a lot of good Metroidvania DNA going into making this. And it's got a similar aspect as Zombie U had, where if you die, all your gear gets left with your guy where you died, and you start as technically as a new guy, and you have to go find him to get your gear back. So it's supposed to be a lot of fun, this game. I'm looking forward to checking it out. So that's it for limited run games. Now I'm going to show you something that I got on an Amazon warehouse deal. Nothing spectacular, but something definitely worth getting on a warehouse deal, almost half price. And that is Lego Jurassic World. Essentially, you just follow a storyline and you build things, and it's puzzle-based. It's a lot of fun, these games. This one actually contains the story from the first 4 Jurassic Park movies, so the 3 Jurassic Park movies and Jurassic World. It doesn't really advertise it on the box, but it's all included in this, which is awesome. And so it's a long playthrough, and it's a good time to play through this. These games are a ton of fun. If you've got small kids, it's fun to play with them for sure.
Welcome to Jurassic Park.
Next up on the Nintendo Switch is a game which had a limited run release, but also got a release through another company called B-Side Games. Now, B-Side Games, they were a Japanese small physical release company. I think they only released like 6 to 9 games, something like that. They recently went out of business, and they were clearing off their inventory, and they put everything pretty much at half price. So I finally bit the bullet, and I picked up Golf Story. So Golf Story is like Legend of Zelda: Link to the Past with golfing in it. It's pretty cool. I've been meaning to play this for a while. It looks like a lot of fun, and like I said, this is one of the limited run games I've been looking to get, but it's being scalped for crazy prices. So finally, when B-Side Games put it on sale, then I picked it up. And the last Nintendo Switch pickup of the month is Maneater. Maneater came up on sale on Amazon and Walmart, so I ordered it from Walmart. I've been looking forward to this game for a long time. It's a third-person shark RPG. So picture Hungry Shark on your cell phone game, and make it 3D and third person, and turn it into a big RPG. And that's what this game is. You're essentially playing as a shark. You can upgrade your shark with different armor and stuff. It looks like a lot of fun. You go around killing swimmers and fish and eating things. It looks like a ton of fun. I've been looking to get this for a while, and it finally went on sale, and I picked it up. Released by Deep Silver, the same company that publishes the Saints Row games. So I was really excited about this. Next up is a Wii game I've been looking for again for a while. I found it on eBay for a really cheap price, around $6. And it is Disney's Guilty Party. Now, Disney's Guilty Party is a very interesting game. Not a lot of people talk about this. It's essentially Clue. The game is essentially Clue, but it's got more puzzle elements to it. It's a lot more in-depth than Clue. And it's a 4-player game where you're trying to solve the mystery in the mansion that you're in with all the different characters and stuff. So it's a lot of fun. Great multiplayer game, definitely worth checking out.
I'm Captain Sherman. Welcome to the SS Stupendous.
Do you have a ballroom?
No.
A rock climbing wall?
No.
Pilates studio?
No.
Is there anything else you don't have?
Funny you should ask. The anchor seems to have disappeared. Couldn't stop the ship if I tried.
Oh, is that all?
Steering wheel's gone too.
Next up, I got a Japanese Sega Saturn game. And when I saw this on eBay, I got super, super excited because I had no idea this game actually got a console release. I only ever played the PC Sierra published version of it, and that is Lode Runner: The Legend Returns. So this game is one of my most nostalgic PC games of all time when I was a younger guy. I had this triple pack, a Sierra triple pack, which came with this, Hunter Hunted, and 3D Ultra Pinball Creep Night. I loved all 3 of those games in that triple pack. When I saw this on eBay, the fact that this version of Lode Runner was indeed on the Sega Saturn in Japan, I got super excited and I purchased it right away. Now, then after that, I found it actually got a release on the PlayStation 1 as well, which I had no idea. Now, this version of Lode Runner is my favorite version of Lode Runner. I love the music, I love the graphics, I love everything about this game. It is super fun, super difficult puzzle game, and I was super, super excited to see this come up.
That's right, Lode Runner, the father of all arcade action games. The huge 2.5 million unit seller is back and more addicting than ever.
Next up, I picked up a Sega CD game at a local pawn shop, and that is Brutal Paws of Fury. Now, Brutal Paws of Fury, I am missing the manual with this, but I got it for a super cheap price, and I actually found a PDF of the manual online, so I might even just print it off and stick it in, because it's not a huge deal, and I'll keep an eye out on eBay, wait for a loose manual to pop up, and then I'll finish it. I've been doing that with a lot of games lately, buying them in pieces, and then putting them together, and it's been working out great, so I'll probably do the same thing with this. This game you play as a bunch of animals who are like humans, human animals, animal peoples, and it's a fighting game, essentially. It's a really bad fighting game. But, I don't know, the animation's not bad, I suppose. Next up is a game I got earlier in the month. I already did a Let's Play of this on my channel. I bought this on a Facebook Marketplace listing for $5, local in town. It was close enough that I could actually walk to pick it up. And this game is valued at around $100. So I was super excited to find this. The guy had no idea what he had. And this is Battletoads on the Sega Genesis. Now, a lot of people love Battletoads, a lot of people hate Battletoads. It's insanely difficult. I can understand why anybody would hate it. I have a little bit of nostalgia towards the NES version of this game, because when I was a kid, we would rent the NES version all the time from a local video store called the Video Wizard in a local town there. And it would never work, the NES version. We'd bring it back to the guy and just clean it with some alcohol, and then it would work for him, and then we bring it home again and it wouldn't work again. So that's the nostalgia I have towards Battletoads, but this was definitely a good pickup for sure.
It's just video game reviews! Okay, last week Harley and I reviewed Ultra Enviroman. Whack to the curb. It has got to go. So today, we're gonna take a look at Battletoad Rocky! That it is, I mean, they got psycho pigs and turbo thwacking. And with kick fighting, surfing, babe saving, how can you go wrong? Your kid's a freak for Battletoads and these other games from Trade West, Nintendo Entertainment, or Game Boy systems required.
Next up, I got some NES games, and starting off those NES games is the horrible, licensed LGN Jaws. Jaws is a terrible game. I think it's based off the third movie, this game, and essentially you just drive a boat around and you scuba dive and you shoot stingrays and stuff. And eventually you find Jaws and you try shooting him, but he's pretty much impossible to kill. Yeah, not a great game. Definitely not. But it's an NES game that I got dirt cheap, and I love the NES, and I'm trying to get as many NES games as possible. Next up is a military game released by Milton Bradley, and that's Cabal. Now, Cabal, what it is, it's a military, essentially almost like a light gun shooter. It's very close to Wild Guns or the G.I. Joe arcade game, where it's a cursor you move around to shoot enemies, but you're also controlling your guy at the back of the screen, or I guess you could say at the front of the screen as well. And you move your guy to dodge the enemy bullets as you're moving the cursor around to shoot enemies as well. So this game is a decent amount of fun. It's not a bad game at all. I definitely recommend checking this one out.
Cabal, the fiercest terror force of all. Think you can wipe out the world's toughest terrorists? Fools! They've got subs, choppers, jet fighters. Go it alone or get help. But if you fail, you'll end up like me. Cabal, for your Nintendo.
Next game up at bat is a game called Life Force on the NES. Life Force, what it is a Konami-released shmup. It's a sideways shmup. You're like some sort of spaceship fighter jet, and you're flying through all these like weird environments of the walls are like alive. It's very strange, this game, but it's also extremely difficult, and you know right away once you jump in the game that this is a Konami game based on the sound effects. A lot of the sound effects are very similar to Contra and other Konami games, so it's very obvious a Konami game. And you know what? Konami is one of the best game developers on the NES, so any game they make is definitely worth picking up. And the last NES game, and the last game I'm going to be showing here on my pickups this month, is Ghosts and Goblins on the NES. Ghosts and Goblins on the NES, it's similar to Ghouls and Ghosts on the Genesis and Super Nintendo. Obviously not as good, but significantly harder. It is a lot harder than Ghouls and Ghosts is. This is one of the hardest games on the NES, definitely. But it's definitely worth playing through to see, you know, kind of like the origins of where Ghouls and Ghosts came from. Now, The Genesis version of Ghouls and Ghosts is my favorite version of that game, but this one was definitely worth picking up, that's for sure. And the last thing I picked up, not a game, but it is game related, that I picked up this month, is at a local thrift store for 75 cents each. I picked up the Street Fighter 2, the animated movie anime comic books. 75 cents each, couldn't complain. Picked them up. They had a ton of anime there, comic books there for 75 cents. I'm not really into that stuff. Only other one I recognized in there was they had a huge stack of Alita Battle Angel animes. I don't really know the anime. I just know that it was a Robert Rodriguez movie, which was fantastic. But I didn't pick those up. I just picked these up because they're game related and they're Street Fighter. Super Movie Battle Street Fighter 2. Well, everybody, those are my pickups for October 2021. If you like what you saw, hit like. If you dislike what you saw, hit dislike. Don't forget to subscribe. And let me know if you've played any of these games that I just showed and that if you really enjoyed them. And let me know if you want me to do a Let's Play of them. We'll see you later.